Well, hey everyone, it's HeapCVA. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming by. I'm glad to see you. Sort of, because I really can't see you. But thanks for coming by. If you were looking for Emerge NYC or Emergency or 911 First Responders, I'm throwing a wrench in your works. And it surprises me almost as much as it probably surprises you. I made the decision last night. I'd been watching this program for a little bit. Originally, I wasn't hearing a lot of positive about it, and the price point seemed to be a little off for me, especially because I'd already put the investment into Emerge NYC. So I kind of put this off for a little bit, but I think that the time was right and it made sense to pull the trigger on this game to give me another point of view, certainly another country's point of view, and have something else to fill in the gaps while we're waiting for new updates from Emerge NYC, or I'm looking for another mod for 911 First Responders or some of the other games going on. And I think, honestly, the way my channel seems to be headed is in a kind of mode where we're doing a lot of fire, EMS, and police type games. Mostly fire and EMS. Put fire at the top, EMS second, because that's my background. But I'm also looking for law enforcement games that are kind of in the same vein. Not just shoot 'em ups or things that don't make any sense, but kind of simulation type games like this as well. If you know of any, please let me know in your comments. I'm really excited to try this game out and compare it in my mind to what I've seen so far in Emerge NYC and some other games that I've seen over time. So you will see that the name up there is Notruf. I've already screwed it up, and I did check to see how they say it. Did I say it right? Probably not. 112, which is their version of 911. That's their phone number for it. firefighter, or firefighter, I butchered that too. Honestly, German is one of those languages that for me is got some twists in it for my tongue, and I get see, I'm doing it already. I get tongue-tied easily looking at their words. Some of them I can figure out immediately. Others, not so much. But this is a firefighting simulation. So for us crazy Americans who can't speak German, they have also given it the name Emergency Call 112, the firefighting simulation. And that's the way it's listed on their site, and it gives that name as well on Steam in addition to the Notruf, or however that's pronounced. I probably don't have my mouth structured correctly to even speak German. That being said, you're going to hear me say Emergency Call 112 till further notice. I may surprise you and learn German. I'm going to have to know some of it just to play this game. But enough of me yakety yak. Let's start a game. The load-up screen's pretty nice. I'm not going to do a review per se. There's other people who've already done reviews. Plus what's on Steam. So you land in the yard. The guy with the red vest on and his PPI is the battalion chief or the captain, and then the guy in the yellow vest must be his helper. I don't know. I'm guesstimating. There's the OK button after the welcome screen, and basically it just says, hi and welcome to the game. There's numerous tasks to perform in a professional fire service, and this is really based off a real German fire department, and that you should familiarize yourself with all the vehicles. There's a training ground for you to use. They got a little bit of German stuck in their English, and that the tab button will give you your assignments. There is an exercise place. That's their version of a training ground. I would go there, but I have locked the game up every time. So we're going to learn on the job versus going to the exercise place. So what it does is you put you upstairs with all of these fire people and EMS people. I don't know that we get to ride on an ambulance. I doubt it. There's the loudspeakers. There's one in there. If you come in here, I guess this is the kitchen / commissary, or the word escapes me that I actually want to use. But pretty much while you're waiting for a call, you're going to be standing up here. So one of the first things we should do is for this video is pick our assignment. So if you hit the F1 key, you'll see that all the vehicles are listed, and I want the full-size pumper, and you'll see why I know that in a minute. Actually, I want to go back. I want to go to the LF24, which is F2, and I am going to be in the attack section, and it'll probably change my character. Yes. See? I'm no longer a redhead. He's over there standing up against the window. And here I am, and I'm going to look out this window and watch the traffic go by and dance to the latest music. Anyway, we do have a clock. I was worried about this. Now I know where it is. And it's not quite 7 o'clock yet. And it must be shift change, and it's time for us to start our shift. So one of the complaints that I saw on Steam, and I didn't really understand what they were talking about until I started fooling around with this game. And I've had it since 9:30 last night, my time. And I probably got about 2.5 hours on it. I figured it was easier for you to watch me fumble and learn. And maybe you can learn at the same time if you're interested in the game, if you haven't bought it yet. We're going to an oil spill call. And I'm going to be this guy here. I've already chosen that. And I choose OK. So then everybody kind of heads down the stairs. You can't jump over the guardrail. You can't fall down the stairs and break your leg. I've tried. You can hear the alarm going off. You hear the dispatcher talking in German. And here we are out in the apparatus room. And this is what I call a full-size pumper. I'm sure it's not what they call it. The one to the left is what they call a water tender. You see the aerial to the right, and to the right of that is another water tender. So the oil spill, as you can see, there's nobody behind us, so we're proceeding to this incident by ourselves. We can go code 3, our version of code 3. I don't think it's their version. And they only use their siren when they come up to a intersection. Now, this doesn't happen often, but it happens. And they've tried to clean it up. I guess it used to be like all the time that they'd crash into cars. But it's getting better. So we've arrived on scene. You can barely see I don't have a cursor, so I can't really show you. So nothing starts till I hit the return button, or for me, my enter key. And now I can step off the pumper. So you don't go running and go and do stuff. You wait for instructions, and I got to get traffic cones, and I'm going to put traffic cones on the street. And there you go. So that was my assignment so far, and now I just wait for more instructions. Now somebody has grabbed the bag of stuff to what I call absorbent, and I'm going to get the broom off of here, and I'm going to go over here, and with the mouse I can use the broom on this. It's really not giving me that. There it is. See, it didn't give it to me right away. So that was all we needed. Now when it says go to roller gate, that means put it away. that's what they call those compartment doors, is a roller gate. That's fine with me. And so theoretically you could open the door, but somebody will close it if you're not quick enough. And they did. So I'm waiting to see what happens next. There's no assignments left for me, per se, that I'm aware of. Oh, I gotta close the door. Apparently nobody else can do that. There. And one of the things that's a procedure here is that you definitely follow whatever that procedure is. If you get ahead of yourself, you try to pull a line you're not supposed to, everything else comes to a screeching halt. And you'll go out of order, and then the incident kind of stops, if you understand my meaning. So what do I want to do is, this is episode 1. I'm just going to have the number 1 like I do with the other fire simulator games. And I'm going to focus on training on the positions for this particular piece of equipment first. So in the next couple of videos you'll see me participating excuse me, in emergencies or other incidents as a member of the crew of this rig in different positions. I'll eventually drive. I'm not driving quite yet. Right now I have to drive with a keyboard. It does say it supports my controller, my Logitech controller. Didn't find that to be true. It could be my fault, and I even told it to synchronize it. It didn't work, and I crashed into a car, which thank goodness you guys didn't see. But here we are back at the fire stations. You can see massive fire station compared to what we would call a fire station or firehouse in the U.S. They are amazing. Not to mention they're very pretty cool. Very pretty cool. Does that make any sense to you? It made no sense to me. Oh my gosh. Well, this is like take number 4 or 5 of this game, so I'm getting really tongue-tied because I keep making mistakes. So anyway, we backed into the station. We got credit for the call right away, which is nice. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and I'm out. So before I'm gonna kind of cut this video relatively short. There's a lot of waiting in between calls, and we'll get to that point, but we're not there yet. So what I just wanted to do real quick is show you the companies that we can respond on. What you see for equipment, this is the water tender. The one on the far side is exactly the same. It has some of the same equipment. Its breathing apparatus and a few things might be in a different place. It has hoses and nozzles and all of the little fittings and stuff, a pump, fire extinguishers, booster line, what I call a booster line or a hard line for smaller fires, and generator. It has its own foam application system, so it doesn't have to borrow it off another truck. And so you can do a lot. It's a 2-person vehicle. You can do a lot on relatively minor incidents with this ride. Here we have the truck, or ladder truck actually, which you'll see in here. These are what I call smoke ejectors or ventilation fans. They're gas powered. They actually are a piece of equipment that you can deploy. If you're on the truck, you might get that assignment. In this compartment, we have hose lines and nozzle. There is an opportunity to squirt water with this. It's not a pump, but you can lay hose on it and use it as an elevated platform for squirting water. And you have some of the stuff in here. There is an extinguisher in here. This here for us, for you guys that are in California, or not California, but in the U.S., if you look at that, where you see kind of like the angle gauge and all that stuff, that flips up, and that's actually a seat for the operator of the aerial ladder to actually sit in. It's pretty cool, and hopefully we'll get to the point where we see a call where that's in operation. Nothing in this compartment functions at this time. This compartment, there is an axe up here, but other than that, I'm sure eventually those saws will work. They do not work yet. This is the backside of what you saw before, and this is where your HeapCVA is. Like I said, it's not a truck company like what you're expecting to see. If you're watching the FDNY stuff, that's not what this vehicle's for. Near as I can tell, it's for rescue, for elevated platform, for using a hose line. But you're not ventilating. Well, you might be, but it just strikes me as not being the same, especially because it doesn't have the numbers of people on it. So here I am going to cut this thing loose, or cut it short, and then we get another incident. So I'm still in the same position. Might as well pull the trigger and see if we can clear this. We're going to have to wait for everybody else because I was already downstairs. They're upstairs staring out the windows, I guess. I wish I knew what he was saying. If you do know what he's saying, let me know in your comments. But I got to see how many we're going by ourselves, which kind of surprises me. I expected to see, there he is, the battalion chief. I was wondering, and an ambulance. So we're just ahead of him. I guess we don't have to wait. So I have no idea where we're going, but I'm guessing we're headed. I'm trying to remember if this is the way to the Autobahn or not. So it'd be nice if it was close to the fire station, because then it won't be 2 hours before I shut this video down. So, interesting way of driving. You do get a GPS when you're the operator. You won't see it unless you're driving. So we're on scene. We officially got to wait for everybody else. So we have the ambulance, and there should be the chief officer or battalion chief or whatever he is. When he pulls up, then we can go ahead and get started. So we'll have to wait and see what I get assigned. It's like somebody is trapped. So I'm going to get the hydraulic spreaders, which is cool. Got to open the thing. Grab that bad boy, and we'll come over here. And the first thing you do is not open the door and rescue the person. You open the hood, which I guess I understand it per se. No. There's what I'm looking for. You use the mouse buttons to open the hood, etc. So we're standing by. There's a guy running with a pair of pliers. He cut the leads on the battery. So I'll put this down. I need to go get chalk blocks. He's getting one, and I can get one. The Q button seems to grab most things, and the E opens the compartments and puts stuff away. So that's done. Now we wait for the next assignment. He must be the team leader for attack. So it's probably why he does a little bit more than I'm doing right this minute. But he's going to... I've seen this done before. And what they do is they create what we would know as a purchase point. No, I'm not buying anything with it. But it allows the tip of the spreader to go in between the door frame. So we pop the door, and then we'll take the door off, I think. And I'm doing pretty good because honestly, this is only the second time I've had a automobile accident. I guess this is it. We aren't going to get it to move any further. He's going to have to cut it off. If it comes off at all. And that's fine. There you go. We're good, aren't we? Anyway, I mean, this kind of is the same wherever you're at. So that I can figure out. So I'll set the equipment down. We're kind of standing by. I guess they don't do much in showing the EMS guys doing their thing. So he's getting the absorbent out because we spilled oil. So I'm going to go get a broom. Fortunately, this is open, so it's easy to get. You're going to remember you got to get to where it shows you moving the mouse. And that's when you've officially moved the absorbent. So he's telling me to get to the gate, which means put the broom away. They're all running because they can start putting stuff away. What did you just grab? Really? Why would you even do that? There. Alright. Well, as they shut the gates, they'll put the hoses on over here. The EMS guys are still with the patient. Here comes our company officer. I'm going to the vehicle door. And I've mounted the vehicle. Whatever that wants to mean. I know it means get in the fire engine, but okay, never mind. So anyway, we lucked out and got a second call. And so we extended the length of this video a little further than I wanted to. So we're waiting for EMS to get in their vehicle because we aren't allowed to go anywhere until they decide what they're going to do. So that's a good time for me to say, thanks so much for coming by my channel. I hope you're having a great day or an evening to wherever you are on the planet. Thanks so much for your support, the comments, and the things that I'm seeing on the channel. I am on the precipice, right on the edge of hitting 100, which is a huge, huge deal for me. And it's just a mental thing for me and nothing else. So with that being said, I'll turn this into a video. Looks like this will be a keeper. And try to get it uploaded this later tonight or first thing in the morning so that you guys can see it ASAP. If you like the game and you want to see more, please let me know in the comments. There's not a whole bunch of these out there, especially not in English. There are several that are out there in German. And if you want to see more videos from this game, please let me know so I can make sure that they get good rotation with all the other games that I've got in my list of things to do. So, again, thanks so much for coming by. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.